When I grow up, I wanna be an old woman.
A lot of people, of course, are excited right now as you move into that beautiful time of the year called the holiday season, and a lot of people have high expectations and think it's going to be a wonderful Christmas again. I know I've been listening to some of the nostalgic rock stuff from the Christmas era of rock music, and one of the songs that they keep playing over and over is Blue Christmas with Elvis. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. So Christmas can be blue for some people as well. To help us find out about some good ideas on how to get through the holiday season, joining us on the program today, Dr. Pam Honsberger, who is a family medicine specialist with Kaiser Permanente. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
You've been there about 9 years with Kaiser?
Yes, I have.
Good. Went to school nearby, UCI?
UC Irvine. I'm
Go Anteaters.
Anteater, exactly.
Yeah, right, very good. You know, a lot of people do feel a little bit lonely during this holiday season. I don't know, holiday blues might be an overused term, but some tips on how we might cope with that.
Well, when you look at, I mean, it's a stressful but wonderful time. So it has lots of wonderful things, but it can also bring up some feelings of sadness or stress and things like that. So when we talk about the holiday blues, I think we just have to kind of give ourselves permission to protect ourselves a little from the craziness and some of the stressful things. For some people, they may have suffered a loss this year. Their health may have deteriorated a little bit. They may be overwhelmed with some family visitors. That happens a lot this time of year. And so I think to just be able to kind of step back and, as I like to use the term, pamper ourselves a little bit and take time to stop and do what we enjoy. Right. A lot of times we put that on the back burner and say, after the holidays, I'll go back to my reading that book or knitting or things like that. Yeah. So one of the things that I always talk to my patients about is just, you know, don't give up all your things that you enjoy the most and put it aside. Keep doing it. Right. I think the other thing is for people who may have their family farther away and not be seeing them is to reach out a little bit at this time. Make sure that they, you know, email or call or send letters and connect. The third part is it's a great time to get involved and volunteer in the community because our own feelings of wellness and our own emotional health can be helped when we're helping others. Right.
It's interesting, and a lot of the agencies in the area that do provide like Meals on Wheels and senior centers and some of those have a real need right now because a lot of people are traveling, are on a cruise or visiting family members, so they have a need for some extra fill-in volunteers at all these facilities around our community. So that would be a good way to get involved as well.
I think it definitely helps our own kind of emotional mood when we're helping others.
Right.
I think that one point I like to make too is if it really is significant, because there's blues and then there's even more feelings of sadness and loneliness, it's a good time to talk to your doctor about it and get some professional guidance.
Right. Either medication or counseling or something could be beneficial as well. Yeah. Another aspect of the holidays, and again, it's the good news, bad news.
My favorite part.
Everybody does their favorite, you know, cookie recipe, their favorite main dish, their favorite side dish, their favorite casserole dish. Oh, you have to try this. I worked all night on this, you know, and they make us feel like we have to eat everything. Right. Controlling that part of the holidays is a challenge for a lot of us too.
Well, it's always that feeling is you're not going to see it for another year. It's the only time that special bread is made or those special cookies. But I think some of the tips that are generally used and known is just the idea of don't treat it like it's the only time you'll ever see this again, and kind of try to stay on your normal routine. I also talk a lot about planning your day. I mean, we know when we're going to have a holiday party to go to and where we're going to maybe eat a little bit more than we normally would. So that would be the time to eat a lighter breakfast, a lighter lunch, and then eat a real healthy snack before you go to the party. Don't grocery shop or go to parties with an empty stomach. We know that. Yeah. I also talk a little bit with my patients about just trying again to stay on your routine. We put exercise on the back burner. We tend to just eat and say we'll make up for it later. You can have a little bit of all that good stuff and still stay on your normal routine. You also have to watch if you take medications and things like that, that you don't not eat all day because you're going to the holiday party. You have to stay on just a relative kind of structured thing. But I do talk a lot about eating a little bit healthier before you go to the party.
And I would imagine this whole medical compliance issue could be a problem too. If you've got a noontime activity from a club and then a family event in the evening, and you're supposed to take a medication at 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock, you might get off schedule.
Yeah.
Some tips on that, if we do get off schedule on our medications, try and catch up, take double dose next time. How do we do that?
Most of the time, and you should always check with your doctor if you're very concerned that you're way off schedule, but you really want to try to just, I wouldn't double up, I would just take it at the time or close to the time that you remember. If it's an hour or so off, usually that's not going to have any problems.
Right.
Things like that. But that's part of when you get up in the morning, kind of plan your day and make sure that you're ready. That's what those wonderful pill boxes to carry in your purses are. But you're right, this is the time where people will forget to take their nighttime medication because they've been out later than they expected and things like that.
Right. You mentioned some opportunities that might not avail themselves throughout the year, a chance to keep active, but you mentioned regular exercise as well. If someone's used to going to the gym or walking the dog 3 times a day, try and fit that in as well.
Keep it up. I think that's one of the things that we all do is we say, I'll just take December off, or classes are not, your normal exercise class may take a 2-week break.
Right.
That's a great, I love walking. I'm a big walker and I support that for most of my patients as well. Just make sure you keep those activities up and you'll find that that actually helps you safely and happily get through the holidays.
You know, so many activities require lots of equipment, whether it's golf clubs or a surfboard or whatever.
So I love
good pair of
walking.
shoes. Good pair of shoes is maybe a little pricey, but it's a good investment in your feet and in your health. And I had a doctor tell me once, if you have a dog, a cardiologist in fact told me, if you have a dog, it extends your life.
But I was just
because
going
the
to
dog
say,
needs to get walked.
the pets is the perfect example because they don't want you to take December off. They want you to still walk because they want to walk.
Right,
so.
That's great. That's a good way to get on as well. Other survival tips you can share with us for the holiday season?
Well, I think that some of it is we tend to all be overcommitted and overbooked. So it's okay to say no. If you're feeling like it's too much, it's okay to say to that 10th holiday gathering or open house, I'm not going to be able to make this one. Thank you for the invitation. And also to just be kind to yourself and make sure that you are listening to your body. If you're feeling really tired and exhausted, that's the time to take a break, whether it, again, reading your book, taking a rest, taking a walk, whatever is going to recharge and rejuvenate yourself.
Right. We always think our doctors are on call 24/7, and they take a break too and go to holiday events and go to parties and visit family and friends and take some time off. Do your patients sometimes have a challenge getting an appointment between now and January 1st?
Well, one of the nice things about our group is we do have a large group to work with. So if we're at Kaiser, there's always someone available.
Good.
So
Good.
Even if some of us take turns taking our little breaks or vacations with our families, we have a wonderful system in place where you can always get your medical needs.
So you're
met.
covered by somebody. If you may not be on duty, somebody else is available to take your calls for you.
Wonderful peers and colleagues that I work with.
Of course, the new facility right there in Irvine, nearby for our folks right here in this community as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
It was a pleasure. Thank you. Happy
Good
holidays.
Stay with us. Don't jump out of your chair yet, Doctor.
Sorry.
We'll get your microphone off and let you get on your way back to work. Thanks for joining us today. That's our new segment each Thursday here on our program, as it is brought to us by Kaiser Permanente. And of course, that new hospital right there just up the street from us in Irvine. A great way for you to maximize your good health care. We'll be coming right back with more right after this brief break.
In my younger days, I made lots of mistakes. I hung out with the wrong people. Got into some bad habits. I neglected my relationships. The drinking was the worst. Now I'm older. I take better care of myself. Things are looking up.
Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.